Welcome back on the AM show, and we continue with business. Much later on, we'll be segueing into the political events going down in Asin North. But for now, as indicated, we're getting into World MSMEs Day. Now, this is a United Nations event, and it is organized every year. We celebrate this year as well, and joining us in the studio, we have a conversation with a number of guests from different spheres. Let me just introduce them to you. We have Peter Smit van Gelder. He is Deputy Head of the European Delegation to Ghana, the European Union Delegation to Ghana. There is also Vida Enieje, CEO Niwaso Garments, and then there's Shaibu Yaya, CEO Shaibu 2022 Enterprise Ghana. They join us for a conversation this morning. Lady, gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Nice of you to ask. How about you?
I'm also good.
That's good to hear. So today we talk about MSMEs, their relevance, the work they do, and this celebration that we are commemorating today. But I'll start with you, Smit. For you, this green and circular economy and green business, tell us a bit about those. I'm sure some people, when they hear of green business in light of everything that is happening, global warming, climate change, and all of that, they wonder, what is green business? Tell us a bit about it.
So for us at the European Union here in Ghana, it's very important to practice what we preach. We as EU endeavor as a first continent to become carbon neutral by 2050. It's called the Green Deal, and Mr. Timmermans, Executive Vice President, is in charge of it. So that's for Europe itself, but of course if Europe does it alone, it's not enough, it's just a small part of the world. That's why we are working elsewhere, in Africa and other continents, and specifically also in Ghana. Why? Because, you know, we committed to the Paris Agreement, to the Sustainable Development Goals, but other countries as well, and Ghana as well. So here we're privileged to work with the UN together, with SNV, which is a Dutch NGO, and with the Dutch Embassy for the Green Project. And indeed, the idea is to have circular economy, meaning you have, for instance, recycle waste, reuse materials, and you create jobs. So in an ideal world, it's a win-win situation. You tackle poverty, you create jobs, and also you make the economy greener. Because we are convinced that it's possible to create green jobs for the people here in Ghana, and to make sure, you know, our children and our children's children have a greener and better Ghana to live in.
With this project in place, what has it been like in Ghana so far?
So we work with several organizations. We work in several parts of the country as well. So it's not only Accra. We were also in Kumasi. We're in the western region. We are in central region. We are up in Tamale. There are different projects which really worked out well. We work on the circular economy. We had also the circular economy competition. The one who won is a guy from Tamale, 100,000 CDs. We have here, of course, very privileged to have in the studio people we work with so that they will do their own story. For instance, also in Kumasi, we work with a guy called Edward. He's doing the recycling of the waste. So far, we have seen tremendous results already, and we are looking forward to work further. One single example here. My colleague gave it to me. It's a paper bag, and it's been recycled by banana papers, exactly.
From corn husks and plantain stems.
Corn husks and plantain stems.
Yes.
Wow. Let's just hold it up.
Hold it up.
Let's see that a bit.
Plantain stem, and this is from corn husks, so you can see the color.
I see. Let me have a feel of these.
It feels quite nice.
So this is of corn husks.
Yes. It's made from corn husks, and this is made from plantains.
It has quite a feel. So this is the one made of corn husks. Corn husks. That's interesting. So don't just throw them away, especially in this season of abele. You go everywhere and you find the corn and all of that. And let me feel the other one too.
That's a plantain stem.
Close your eyes
Plantain. You know, if we did a blind session, okay, but I think I'd be able to identify. This is a bit more,
It's a thicker than.
thicker, a bit more coarse as well. So interesting dynamics. All these being made with these products, corn husks, plantain stems, and all of that. Stalks, you said, to ensure that they don't go waste. But let me come to you, Vida. You had this brilliant idea to fabricate toys, dolls, and all of that from waste fabric.
Yes.
How did that come about? When did you start?
Yeah, you see, there's this idea like, you know that this waste has an economic value.
Okay.
You think it has an economic value, you just don't dispose it off. So it must be given that value. That was what started the concept of me using the waste pieces.
In other words, where, like it's been said, where someone sees waste, another person sees an
value.
opportunity, a gold
Yes,
mine.
yes,
and that's what you saw.
Yes, that's what I saw. Because I run a garment factory and we produce huge tons of waste daily.
Right.
So looking at it, I said, no, let me start something with it. It really had its implementation during the SNV incubation program. Yes.
Tell us a bit about your work. I see these dolls here, these toys and others. Tell us a bit about what goes into them.
Okay, thank you. All the dolls that you are seeing here are made from garments, waste from the fabric that we produce, the clothing that we produce.
Okay.
This one especially, you can feel it. It's filled with pieces. We shred them.
Okay.
The garment pieces have...
So inside, right.
Yes. And this one is a little softer. This is the fiber. We fill this one with
All right,
fiber.
so this is Aquile,
Yes.
as you can see.
This is speaking the
That's
Ghanaian
Aquile right
culture,
there.
the way we carry our babies.
Okay.
Yes, so you can see it's a Ghanaian mother with a baby at the back. It's this depicting African value.
Oh, wow, I didn't even spot the baby.
Yes, and for the African child to value that they are also precious.
So interesting dynamics that you have for me. Let me come to Shaibu now, and let me just place Aquile here. Aquile should be right here. Tell us a bit about what you do and where you are located.
Okay,
How you got into this entire drive.
Okay, thank you. I am Shebu and I'm from Edra in the Central region.
Okay.
What I do is I am into manufacturing of essential oils from the lemongrass and then citronella.
Essential oils from lemongrass and citronella. Right.
And then we also into manufacturing of mosquito repellent as well. And then also the distilled grass from the lemongrass or the citronella are also used for manure. We decompose it at a particular place. Other farmers can be used for manure, and also we spread them at the farm for good production.
Okay, that's fine. Now, a short while ago, Peter, when he was speaking, he spoke about this initiative, the European Union, and why they're coming on board doing this in Ghana. I'd like to find out from you, how have you benefited from the training from the European Union and its partners? What has this done to you? How has it shaped what you do?
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Peter from the European Union. They have given me a nice training from the OEA program, and then UNCDF come together to give a training which is about the agriculture and then wash and then in terms of food productivity. So the program.
When you speak of WASH, you're talking about the WASH program. Right.
So I was decided to go for agriculture, which was able to take some training from the UNCDF and SNV Ghana, coming together with a European Union has given me a training about the agri sector. I was part of the poultry program, the fishery program, and then the cereal program at the recycling at Kwadaso, which I have the certification here. It is here. Okay. When I complete that one at the Kwadaso, this is what I was having.
You were awarded.
Yeah.
Right.
So with the OEA program that I finished with it, so they were giving, I was able to get an idea of creating my business model canvas, to also put my business plan together. And then when the forms come, like application or the business plan competition, and then I was able to apply with that and won an amount of 40,000 Ghana cedis to increase production and machinery for my product. So with the cash for work, the UNCDF delegation with the connection with the European Union was they came to Edra district. So they asked the various community members, which is my community Edra, Bedukrom New site, about what are the two things that will bring sustainable development good for the community. So the community members was interested in the culvert and then potable drinking water for the people of the community so that they could be able to sustain their goals as well.
Let me come back to you, Peter. So how crucial is it for Ghana's transition into the green economy? And what are the priorities of the European Union when it comes to the circular economy in this respect?
It's super crucial. We can hardly overstate it. So it's very important. That's why also we are contributing to the tune of 20 million euros on this project for these years. Indeed, giving training, incubation. I've seen the project myself also around Kumasi and the University of Knust. Both up in Tamale. What we do here in Ghana is actually three things for the coming years. We are contributing with the government of Ghana, with civil society, with academia, 200 million euros for the coming years. And then we
How many years are we looking at? So you speak of 20 million euros now, but you mentioned 200 million euros.
200
Is it a
million,
long-term
for
thing?
the next 3 years.
Next 3 years.
Next 3 to 4 years, so it's give or take 50 million per year.
Wow.
Then we have 3 priorities. The first is indeed the Green Deal. So making sure we make the transitions, making business greener, making jobs cleaner. And then also the second is everything around smart cities. What do we do here in Accra and in Kumasi? Make sure all those people living together that they have access to clean energy, to jobs and to water and sanitation. And then the third big chunk is everything around security, good governance, and the whole project also in the north. We are very big in the north. We have an agriculture program. I was just up in Wa. We do Ghana agriculture program also around 130 million for the coming years. Because as you know, Ghana in the north, it's a bit more vulnerable and poorer. So it's very important for us to be there with the feeder road and so on. But all in all, it's, I want to stress it's a collective endeavor and it's a collective responsibility. We put energy in it, money in it, the UN as well. The Dutch, we are here with Team Europe. There are 9 member states on the ground. And of course, Ghana also committed to the Paris Agreement and to the SDGs. So we are all in it together to make sure we make the transition to a new, greener and cleaner economy.
Wow.
Just a quick follow-up on that. So how then at what level are you collaborating? The governmental level? And what, for example, are your collaborations, partnerships with public and private enterprise to achieve this promotion of the circular economy in Ghana?
Yeah, it's a good question. So, of course, we are here working together with the government. We signed an agreement with the government. So it's, for instance, the Ministry of Energy, the Ministry of Agriculture. So that's the public sphere and the public sector. But it cannot always be, the highest level. So you also work at the community level, the municipal level here in Accra, but also in Kumasi and in Tamale. And then we work also, of course, with universities and academia, Knust, for instance, in Kumasi, and civil society, very importantly. There can be very good ideas from there. Small enterprises, this is what we today celebrate, of course, micro, small and medium enterprises. So the key is also in giving those people opportunities. They may have a good idea, but maybe they need some seed money, maybe they need some training, maybe they need some incubation in there. That's really how I see our role, to bring everybody together, also with expertise we may have, and of course the funding and the training.
Right. Coming back to Vida, it is clear that here, when you want to start on a project like this, especially as an MSME, one of the major hurdles you face is the financial one. What are some of the biggest challenges you faced, and how has this green project enabled you to continue with what you do?
Thank you. It was cheap and reliable source of energy.
Okay.
Because it was increasing cost of production and delays in sending our finished product to our clients. Therefore, it was we couldn't even employ when we need more workers. So the SNV incubation program currently has helped me with a matching grant support of 128,000 Ghana cedis 600 to do the 10 kVA solar. So currently we are using solar at our workplace. It has increased our workforce, and production too has come down because the source of energy is cheaper and it's very reliable.
You're telling me you've had almost 200,000 Ghana cedis in support?
And
a little north of 180,000 for your solar project.
Yes, and not only that. It's a lot. Yes.
I do know that, recently I was on a drive for this school in terms of solar panels and batteries, so I know exactly how much
Yes, it's
they
very
cost,
expensive.
but in the long term, they have their own benefits. But just tell me as a follow-up, the Green Incubation Program, what exactly did it do for you? What has the incubation been like?
Okay.
Shaibu was talking about what his influence was, the impact it had on him. What was it for you?
Okay, I did my incubation at Diapa Workspace. It's in Takoradi.
Okay.
Through the SME project, they helped me put my business in a more formalized way. They helped me with my marketing and my branding. And there are some things like HR policy. There were other things, even though I was working, I didn't have much knowledge about it, like negotiations policies. This thing, had it not been the SMV incubation thing, I wouldn't have known much. So
Interesting.
Now my businesses, yeah.
Interesting dynamics there, and the support, the sort of support you've got. I'm sure some people would die for that.
Yes.
To get that kind of support. But coming to Shaibu, there's this Cash for Work program.
Yeah.
Tell us about it and how it impacted the start of what you do. Cash for Work. I'm interested in that.
Yeah, Cash for Work is a green initiative with UNCDF and European Union delegations. And then what they do is when they come to the community they ask for what the community members will need. Then they employ the community members, but by taking the forms, and then you apply for the forms. So when you apply for the forms and it is time for selection, and then they will check, select, it is 18 to 35.
That is the age categorization.
For Cash for Work initiative. Right. So I was selected, and then I was the timekeeper of the project at the site, and the same time at where we are taking the training. So the project was 6 months training, and then it was 3 months training, and then after we finished that, some allowances and then some money and allowance was given. So I wouldn't know. I was having an idea about the mosquito repellent, but how to start it with funding through the money they were giving us. I was able to start the business small, and then later I also heard from a colleague friend from which benefit 21,500 last year, 2021 or 2022, I don't know, but it was like that. So he introduced me to SMV Green Ghana, and then I was also having interest to also be with them. So as I was following them with their programs and the training, and then trade shows, and then the incubation programs, through that I was able to write my business plan competition, and amount of 40,000 Ghana cedis was given me to increase production and then raw materials for my business.
Okay, so let's continue from that point. From the SNV and the European Union, you received this grant of 40,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
What has been the real impact of that on what you do?
Wow. The real impact of what I'm doing is that I create jobs for the community, and because it is green businesses, everybody would like to be with me and then learn something about what I am doing. Oh, they say, wow, so why at first your business was not like that? What happened? And then you are able to do this. So
you're also promoting
another green because,
exactly.
Yeah.
You're sharing the good stories.
Yes, and always when delegations from EU and the European Union or SNV, they come to my place, and they like the place is very green because all the farm is green, and then I have able to employ the people of the community.
How many people are under your employ?
Oh, I have 10 employees, 6 women, 4 men. The 4 men are for the harvesting of the grass, 6 women are collecting to the site, and then we have 1 person who distill the grass to the oil.
Let me come to Peter now. Back to you. How is this project, being supported by the European Union, the SNV? How are you doing this in Ghana? What are the support systems? How are you going about it?
In general, we have this fund. It's the 20 million euro for the coming time. What we like.
You made mention of that.
we like to visit the projects as well. Of course, there is selection, and I think my colleague here said it very well. The idea is you train people, and then they train other people, right? So
trainer of trainer situation.
Trainer of trainers. of course, I could go, somebody else could go, but I think the impact is much bigger if somebody from the community himself gets some training and then transfers the knowledge. For instance, on how to market, to do the publication, to do the PR, but also just how to go about the whole recycling, reusing and refurnishing of all materials. So basically that's what we do. I think this was a good project, and then let's see how it works out also for future projects. But for us, I'd like to emphasize it's important we do it not only here in the city, of course here as EU we are in the capital of Accra, but that we do it in other cities, and that's why we're also often on missions to see the work. But indeed, it's an endeavor of everybody. It's the public sector and civil society and ourselves. And indeed, the transfer of knowledge is best done by people on the ground who have the voice in the community, rather than us going there, saying, yeah, we should do this or that.
And the local content, obviously, key. In any community you go to, you need such people who have been through the process, who will be sort of your mouthpieces and are more relatable in the communities. But in terms of the specific actions that you are taking as the EU, as the SNV, to ensure that those green projects and the circular economy continue, what would you pinpoint as the specific actions you're taking?
I think the most important to emphasize is we do the training, we do the incubation, we make sure there is activities going on, there is small business on the ground, and then we make sure after the circular economy competition there is small grants for people, and we make sure the business is thriving and can go on. That is basically how we do it.
Okay. So with these dolls that you make, Vida, if I asked you how many of them you've produced as of now, I don't know whether you'd be able to give me a number. How many of them have you been able to produce? Over what period?
On a daily, I can give you on a daily basis. On a daily basis, we can produce like 50.
50?
Yes, because we do it alongside clothing. With the clothing on a daily basis, we produce like 120 clothing. So looking at producing 120 clothing, just imagine the waste you make out of it on a daily basis. Yes.
So about 50 of these, and in terms of the market for them, what has that been like? People patronizing your wares, what has that been like?
Yes, but had it not been the SNV project, I wouldn't have had a market for it. That's why I said earlier that it really materialized during the SNV incubation program. Because at first, people even didn't know what I was doing. Some will look at it and it's like, this thing, will it sell? But that one has given me market outside. Those people in the diaspora, they really love things like this. And, yeah.
This also means you're doing a bit of recycling, you're preventing what could have gone waste to be used, also protecting our environment. Do you share that message along, the line? Do you share that message with people, even those who patronize your wares?
I do. I do, because I quite remember some time I ran out of pieces, so I went to my colleague fashion designers for pieces, and they were like, what are you going to use this for? And I said, I know what I'm using it for. So I showed them some of my art pieces. They were like, wow, then we'll come and learn it. Okay. Yes, they didn't even know anything about it.
So you're getting more people on board as well. Yes. And of course, once that sensitization goes down there, we all prevent wastage. Yes. But let's talk about employment and the opportunities, job opportunities this has created. As you've been supported, you've also been able to impact your community. Yes. Tell us a bit about that.
Yes, as I said earlier, now we have solar. SME supported that with that matching grant of 428,000. Since we have constant energy, we know that when we employ workers, they will definitely work daily. So right now we have 18 staff, but before I met SME, we were just 6. Now we've increased to 18. And
so your capacity, workforce has increased.
That's increased.
That's by threefold.
It has.
6 to 18.
Yes, and we're looking forward that it will increase, because as orders keep coming, we keep increasing our casual workers. And most of them are from my community, and they are within the ages of 20, 35, that way. Okay. Mostly women. The men are not much, about 4 or 5 of them, but all of them are women. And then when you graduated from secondary school, you are in the house, you don't have anything to do, and you did fashion, you are welcome to come to Inuaso.
Right, so you heard it from right here. If you did anything in fashion, you're interested, you can reach out to them. Yeah. I'm sure at the tail end of the conversation, we'll let you know how you can reach out to them. But let me come to Shaibu. She has made mention of some of her challenges. For you, what are those specific challenges you faced in being a green entrepreneur, and how has all of this helped you emerge from that?
I think challenges for the entrepreneur is about the time I don't know about the green it was the marketing, how I could get international market, how I could able to get my business registered, and then how I could able to get training about how my finances will be through the green business, a green project. I have able to get a training from Build Account, which they give us training about our how to keep our finances, our record, and then our expenses when you are into business. And then through the incubation training, they have able to sell my business far away by boosting and then social media activities, and it has helped me. I've able to get international market with the lemongrass, dry tea. I have a colleague, SME, which the mother is now in the UK. She was doing cosmetics, and then the mother is now in UK, so she was able to order me 100 kilograms of dry lemongrass. And
so they placed an order from your outfit?
Yes.
Wow.
From then the dry ginger to 150 kilograms. Wow. To be exported maybe next week, or because it's left 2-3 days for it to be dry, because you have to dry it very well before you export.
Especially when you're going to
that is
exporting it.
Through incubation programs I have been at the recycling app Ghana.
So in other words, you've got a lot of exposure, access to the European markets, financing, the 40,000 you've been given, and even quite a presence on social media. I mean, who wouldn't go for that? But let's
financial management.
Yeah. Oh yes, and financial management as well. How to manage your resources. Maybe keep your books and all of that. But what difference would you say your outfit is making in your community, AJ? So you've made mention of the fact that you're bringing some youth on board, you're speaking to people. But if I asked you, tangible impact that your work has had on your community, Ejiso, what would you say?
Wow, the tangible impact that my work has impact in is EDRA, but it was a
EDRA, yes, right.
So is because we are into organic mosquito products or product, so other mosquito repellent or other product who are mixed in chemically and then could cause harm to the people. So they always want to be at our market, anytime I have product about thousands or 2,000, they buy all and then it will be short. So what is the impact that the community has gotten from me is that we already do our things organically, so they like the product. And also I create jobs for the young ones to be coming.
Let me come back to Peter. So what are some of the other projects that the EU, maybe the SNV, are supporting on this green drive, this green campaign, this green economy? What are some of the other projects you're focusing on? You made mention of the $200 million. Do those projects feed in there?
Yeah, well, we count in euros, but...
Well, euros maybe, yeah.
Yes, of course, they count in there. Some of them are still in the making, but for instance, we are working in Kumasi with the locals. We're working also in Tamale. Here, the SNV project specifically, we're looking at 12,000 people benefiting. So that's
12,000 people.
12,000 people in total. So I think that's very good already. The challenge, if I may, as well, is we cannot do everything alone. Even though we have great people here at the table and with SNV and the UN and the Dutch. It's also a mentality thing, right? So, for instance, solar was mentioned a couple of times. I've been now in Africa 10 years, nowhere so much sun as here in Ghana, so use much more of solar. The single-use plastic, it's really a challenge. You go to a bar or whatever, you get a plastic cup or plastic bottle of water. It will take time, but all of that we need to transition. So it's not only a question of money, it's also a question of changing that whole mentality. But
so it's a mindset issue as well.
I think so.
And that's an even more delicate matter to deal with as far as the mindset is concerned, because that will take a lot more time. But then your pilot projects in the Ashanti and Western regions, can you tell us a bit more about that, specifically those regions?
Yeah, so Ashanti specifically, I was there, I believe it's half a year ago. We worked there with the University of Kumasi.
The KNUST,
Yeah.
Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and
Okay,
Technology.
yeah, I never know if I should pronounce KNUST or KNUST.
So it's
Whatever. So.
KNUST. Some would say NUST without the.
No, well,
So it's like
it's
like the K and knife.
Exactly. So with the university there, the big one, and also with the university in my home country, Netherlands, TU Delft. So they work with the farmers there to make it greener. They have a lot of very state-of-the-art material. I saw it myself. Incubation, the training as well, and it's working really quite well. It's quite impressive the results they have there, working with the local farmers in Kumasi. So I'm looking forward to see more results there and go back if time allows.
Okay.
And if I asked you about some of the key achievements of green so far in Ghana, what would you say?
I would say what we just discussed now. So we start, I think, small, admittedly, but start with the communities to make products like this, to work on e-waste, to do recycling, to work against pollution, and indeed to train the local communities to make sure children, because it all starts with them, get that in their mind. It's not normal to use all the plastic. It's not normal to throw everything away. And it is normal to have green and clean jobs.
Mm. So for you, Vida, we've spoken about the support of 128,000 plus euros from the SNV. We've spoken about the impact that has had on your work, the exposure you have had. But from where you sit, it's quite a position. You have benefited from the program. Why is it important for entrepreneurs like you to go green? What do you think?
Thank you. I'll urge every entrepreneur to go green, because these days for you to be on the bigger platform, every organization is seeking for people whose business are sustainable.
Okay.
And if you going green means you are thinking outside the box, thinking about the environment so that your work will not create harm. And also, you will also get extra income, because apart from me being a fashion designer, this fabric waste is also giving me another income, which now is even fetching me more, if I should say that, in the near future, looking at how things are going. It can even fetch
going
more.
green pays.
It pays a lot.
Right.
It pays a lot. So I will urge all entrepreneurs who are doing their diverse businesses to look through what they are doing, think outside the box. They will definitely see something they can do for their business to go green.
It's worth going green. But let me find out from Shaibu what he thinks on that same point. I mean, how important is it as an entrepreneur for you to go green? What has been the impact for you?
Well, it is nice as an entrepreneur to be green in impact, because when you look at various communities, entities, because if you are under the green, a lot of support that is being coming from the various delegations or entities from European Union are considered of about the green jobs we are doing, and then what is going to bring for the impact for the community, so that it will not cause any trouble or any harm for the atmosphere, the land, and the water bodies. So I would like to know, be a greener this.
Now he's gone green and he wants to go greener.
Yeah, I want to be a greener. Everyone should be green, because green is the sustainable development goals for every community or any society.
So right before I take you, I'd like you to put your details out there so people can also get interactive with you and all of that. To cap off the conversation from your end, Peter, and I'll give you a final bite, all of you. What activities are lined up for the MSME celebrations? What are the activities? Just walk us through them. What's the plan?
So in fact, we're starting right now, as you see, because we're making some publication for it in some of the shows. We will visit some of the activities as well these days. We work together, of course, with you and SNV, and we look forward to continue it, because that's maybe, if you allow Mr. Talk Show host one last soundbite. Indeed,
you can call me Benjamin.
Said it very well. It is not either or. So also back in Europe, the strategy is a growth strategy. It's not either you stop or you do green and you create jobs at the same time. So this is what we would like to envisage also in Ghana and in other parts of the world. Also in terms of communication, it's not all doom and gloom. Yes, we have the droughts getting drier, we have a lot of tornadoes and you name it, but it's not the idea to scare people, oh, the climate change, and now we just sit back and do nothing and wait for some kind of Armageddon. No, the time to act is now, and in fact, one of the ways to act is to create the green jobs.
I have this final bit here, it just came to mind, an unscripted bit, but when you look at our entrepreneurial landscape, about what percentage would you say is green? How much more work do we have to do?
Oh, I don't know percentages, but I think there is a lot to do. I think, to be honest,
very few businesses are going green.
The
right?
green part is really small. If you want to see it a bit positively, there is still a lot of opportunity for development.
Yeah. All right. So let me come to both of you, Shaibu and Vida now. You can share your contact details so our viewers can also get interactive. I'll start with you, Vida. Where are you located?
I'm in Takoradi.
Takoradi?
Yes, I'm
okay.
in Takoradi.
Where in Takoradi?
Yes, I'm in Takoradi, Shama districts, and the name of the company is Iniwaso Garments. You can find us on Facebook, Iniwaso Garments, on Instagram, Iniwaso_garments.
Can you spell the Iniwaso so they can?
Thank you. It's ANIWASU.
Okay. ANIWASU.
Yes,
okay.
The garments. And our telephone numbers is 054-34-30055. 0243-6477.
Can you slow down? Just slow down. If someone is taking that number, busy taking the number, so
054-34-30055.
One last time.
054-34-30055.
Okay. So if you wanted to take that number, I'm sure after all these five, you would have taken the number. Shaibu, same for you.
Yeah. I am Shaibu.
So you are in Idra, right? Where in Idra?
Yeah, Central Region.
Yes, where within the Idra community? What is that place called?
Idra Metropolitan District or Idra District Assembly.
All right. And your contact details?
Yeah, what I do is I am into manufacturing of mosquito repellent and other essential oils from lemongrass and citronella.
Okay.
So when you want to reach me, you can also call me on 055-44-66-361. 055-44-66-361. Our Facebook platform is Shaibu22 Enterprise. And then when you go to WhatsApp and the other social media, you can click Shaibu22 Enterprise Ghana. You will see our product over there, and then you select what you want. And then.
All right. So today is World MSMEs Day. Any final words from each of you? 30 seconds. I'll start with you, Peter.
Thanks for having us. It was great to work here with you. We like the project a lot, the green project with SNV and UN. We saw already many jobs created, and we look forward to an even better future.
And we look forward to the empowerment that the 200 million euros will bring to Ghana. Vida, final words.
I also want to use this medium to thank SNV so much for the support they've given me and my business, and the support they've given me goes a long way to help my community too. I'm very grateful to them. And also I thank my hub, the Upper Workspace, Mr. Erasmus, for getting time to incubate me. I also thank my family for the support given me and all my workers. Thank you.
That's great. For you, all your 18 workers, right? All your 18 staff members. For you?
I would like to thank UNCDF and then SNV Ghana for giving me the support today to be here as SNV World Day program, and then the support they have given me from my business, my community, and then even myself too. So also like to thank UNCDF and the European Union for giving them an opportunity for taking. It was not by car. If it is by car, by this time we're not here. We fly all the way from Kumasi, and then we landed here yesterday at 1:45 or something like that, and then today too, I think we'll be going back. Thank you.
So Shaibu got over 40,000 Ghana cedis in support, together with financing, training, exposure to the European market, and more. Vida got 128,600 Ghana cedis for her solar project, and she has also got those opportunities. So what are you waiting for? We must all go green, right? Yeah. That's the way to go. Our guests this morning have been Peter Smit van Gelder. He is Deputy Head of the European Union Delegation to Ghana. There's also been Vida Eniaje, CEO in Niwaso Garments. She's in Takrade. And there's also Shaibu Yaya, CEO, Shaibu 2022 Enterprise Ghana in Ejura. That's how we cap off our conversation. We go green. It's the only way forward. We'll be right.
Sustainable development future.
Right. We'll be right back on the AM show. Do stay.